So, Season of Defiance has easily Season of Disappointment for me. Now, I did re-record this commentary because before I was very harsh, and I think last week I was very fed up with just the Destiny experience itself. I come back from vacation, I'm playing it, and it's just doing a lot of frustrating things to me. And we had the conclusion with a new mission to end off the season narrative with Season of Defiance. And honestly, it all falls flat for me. I'm in a much better state of mind to talk about it, so I'm going to be way more calm than I was in my other recording. So hopefully you guys aren't too ticked off, or I don't know how you guys are going to feel. So, Season of Defiance, honestly, was a massive letdown for me on a narrative point and kind of just the structural foundation of what happened this season. To be fair, we should expect some changes with Season of Deep and the next seasons going on, leading to Final Shape. But as of now, this was still disappointing. I know that it is tied to an expansion, so there is definitely stuff that isn't going to be as juicy as other seasons that are not tied to an expansion. But Season of the Risen was a powerful, amazing season, and honestly my second favorite season from last year, and it was tied to an expansion. Season of Defiance is tied to an expansion and feels like it's one of the worst seasons we have ever played in Destiny 2. That's just my opinion. Some people may be enjoying the season, some people may be loving the themes, but it's hard to defend this season as anything of value to the overarching story being told right now in Destiny, and doing anything with content, weapons, loot to be really worthwhile and talk about. Season of the Splicer is my favorite season. I love the narrative, I love the structure of it, and I think it has one of the best weapons we have seen in Destiny 2 for a season, and the amount of content there, the amount of juice and fluff was amazing. So yeah, I didn't expect that with Defiance, but I didn't expect something as disappointing as we got like Hunt or any other bad season in Destiny 2's long history of the live service model. Now, the story itself could have been something, and honestly, it was trending to something, but after the death of Amanda Holiday, it just all falls flat and kind of makes you feel like, why was this death even needed? And was it just to fill in something that was missing in the Lightfall expansion? And honestly, I think it was kind of a filler for the Lightfall expansion, not having enough emotion in my opinion. I do like the expansion itself, I enjoyed the story, but it definitely was lacking on the emotional side of things, which is something we would have expected in something called Lightfall. So maybe Bungie used this season to kind of fill in that heart-wrenching, sad thing that was kind of missing in the expansion, but in my opinion, it falls flat at being an overarching sad thing, and the only part that really makes it sad is the fact that in real life, we lost the voice actor of Zavala, Lance Reddick. He unfortunately passed suddenly, and for many, he was a fan favorite character and a fan favorite voice actor in the franchise and in many other properties. Lance Reddick has been great in anything he does, so seeing the unfortunate passing was awful, and we paid our respects in any way we can. So that was the most emotional part to the season, and it wasn't part of it, so it's weird that the emotional part just wasn't there for me when it comes to in-game story. Another thing that was very disappointing and kind of confusing was, what was the purpose of the bad guys in this season? Like, they're locking up humans. What are they doing this for? What's their goal? What's the main antagonist? Who's pulling the strings? None of that was, portrayed at all. And it kind of makes this a very empty, hollow story point. And we don't take this any further. Like, the ending of this season doesn't direct us into the future, and it's just mind-boggling. Now, one of the most juicy parts of the narrative is this Vex Caliber mission. When you're going into the Vex network with Mithrax, or at least with Mithrax, in your ear, because of Ashamir. And this stuff was building for years, and it was very rewarding. However, there is a massive disconnect between this Vex Caliber mission with theme and what's going on in the overarching world at EDZ with the Shadow Legion, and what's going on here, and then Lightfall. It's weird that this is tied to the season, but not tied to the expansion. It's mind-boggling. And honestly, the whole story of what's going on in Season of Defiance should have honestly been this Vex network, this Vex Caliber stuff, Ashamir leading the way, not Queen Marasov, not anything with Amanda Holiday and the Shadow Legion. The stuff that happened in Vex Caliber should have been the season, and it makes me wonder if that theory I said of them trying to fill the void of a emotional part of the expansion not being there was kind of the way. But besides Season of Defiance being Season of Disappointment, the content is good, nothing worthwhile to talk about. The activities, the Defiance Battlegrounds are awesome, but again, another kind of unrevolutionary activity. The one thing I will say is that the foundation of grinding in this season has been overhauled in a massively good way, with weapon focusing and all this other stuff being updated and more friendly to those who grind their time, being able to control, for the most part, their loot. But overall, when it comes to what this season did impactfully, not much. Aramis is kind of the only narrative story beat to this that was something that we can take forward in Season of the Deep and go forth with that. But in all, I'm kind of just left with okay, that was something. And my excitement is now all eyes on Season of the Deep. I expect Savathûn to come back. I expect to see more planets return. We'll see if those leaks or whatever, I'm not going to talk about it, are true. Likely true based on Bungie's actions recently. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really disappointed. I'm glad I'm calmer now than I was yesterday because, oh my God, I was really angry at the recording I did. But let me know your thoughts down below. Obviously, there's things to love about the season, and I don't want this to be solely negative, but it has to be said. For me, at least, it was a disappointment, and I was expecting a little bit more in line with Season of the Risen compared to what we got here. But let me know your thoughts down below. Where does this season rank amongst your favorite seasons or least favorite seasons? How do you feel about the content? Whatever you want to comment down below about Season of Defiance, let me know down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, found this video informative, definitely drop this video a like. Helps out this video a ton. And if you guys want more content from me, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified for when I drop more content. But that's all I got for this one. Hope you guys have a good one. Shun Energy here, and I'm out.